right. Welcome.
Welcome
All
back,
right, you guys want
guys.
to kick it off? It's your thing. So
Sure. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, fellow Shinobi. We have another very special episode for you guys today. What a chapter it was. What a chapter it was. Genuinely, I think all of us were surprised by the turn of events, so to speak. And there's a lot to talk about. So this is gonna be a cool episode.
for sure, we're on chapter 33.
Yeah.
Total breakdown. It's my first time joining on. We got drifting and we got ood. So our first topic that we wanted to talk about was Himawari's healing capabilities. Has she already mastered healing? In the latest chapter, she I gotta find the page here. She right here on page 5, she says, I've healed the damage to the blood vessels and stopped the bleeding, but I don't know if that'll help at all with her vision. So she hasn't fully mastered, but she's pretty darn good with healing. And I feel like this is just a little minuscule of what we're expecting to actually see with Himawari's healing capabilities.
Yeah, for sure. Something that's like so interesting to me about Himawari's healing capabilities, as far as we know, we don't really know that she's been trained in healing jutsu. So for her to do that so quickly, so efficiently, and so instinctively, just it stands out to me like a lot.
Honestly, well, if you follow the anime, there was an episode where there was a requirement for the entire class of the academy students to take medical ninjutsu class. So maybe she learned basic medical ninjutsu from the academy. Maybe.
Right. Right, but
yeah, go ahead.
Right, but this isn't like even remotely basic medical ninjutsu. This is straight up healing instantly. She healed the blood vessels and stopped the bleeding simultaneously in a matter of seconds, just out of pure instinct. That's something to be like. That's something that's big.
To be fair,
the only thing we could. Yeah, go
you
ahead.
remember Naruto's healing when he had the 9 tails? That was pretty crazy too, especially back in part 1.
No, 100%.
Well, I wanted to say with Naruto, we see the chakra with the 9 tails in the war, the Great Ninja War.
Yeah.
How he was able, Naruto and Kurama were able to like help everyone, and they were all glowing with the 9 tails chakra. And it's like with Boruto, sure, we can expect that. Yeah, easy. Okay. It looks like if that's going to be an easy case for Himawari, like, oh, okay, we're expecting it. But no, they don't want us to expect things. And since it's Boruto, since it's the next generation, they need to do something crazier with whatever Himawari is doing with the 9 tails. I think there needs to be some cool stuff going on. And if any of you guys have some theories, what's up, Tens, Big Squatch, Coca, Lily, and Alpha. You guys here in the chat, if you guys have any theories, we'll talk about it here too. But I really think that they need to do something crazy with Himawari. And I don't know what the upgrade would be.
Yeah, no, honestly, something that's I've the kind of breakdown that I do is always trying to find connections between Boruto, Tubu Vortex, the original Boruto, and also Naruto. Something that I've started to notice about the specifically healing is that healing requires absurd amount of chakra control. It's not something that comes easily to a lot of people, especially when it comes to high level efficient healing. And sure, Himawari has the nine-tailed chakra, which 100% is what is helping her do this healing. But as was said, we didn't see this kind of healing in Naruto until he achieved the Kyuubi mode. So
Right.
something that I'm starting to get the sense of is that Naruto spent a lot of his life with the Nine Tails battling himself from the inside out. There was a lot of inner turmoil, a lot of just hatred for a long time. But with Himawari, she is basically just the representation of human and tail beast harmony from the get go. She is able to control her abilities at a much younger age than Naruto ever did, and more precisely and more consciously. So,
Well, it's not just that. No, I fully agree with you. That's yes. But there's also the fact that didn't Kurama technically like evolve? Maybe
From
he
the
yeah,
isn't.
Baryon
something,
Didn't he? Remember when Kurama first came back, he said that his chakra is even more like potent than it was with Naruto.
That seemingly
yeah,
is because of the synchronization between Himawari and Kurama being better than Naruto.
they're more
Mm.
compatible. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's
So then,
actually, so I'm
mhm.
sorry.
No, go
That's
ahead.
actually, that's actually so, like, it honestly, it excites
Hello?
me because,
You're
hello?
welcome, Tens.
Hey, yo, what's up? Bro, y'all talking about him and Warrior, right? So,
Yeah.
like, what if she got like Sage mode, right? But like, you know how she's like a Bijou, she's like a manifestation of chakra. So it's like her using Sage mode wouldn't be the same as Naruto using it. It'd probably be like way stronger since it's
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah. I don't know if we talked about this in a previous episode of Total Breakdown, but if we didn't, I've always had this headcanon that, yeah, Himawari has the potential to achieve not only a stage mode, but also a Kyuubi stage mode, which would be amazing. But we also have to take into account that she is the daughter of the pure lineage of the
Hyuga.
Hyuga clan, and the daughter of someone who has the Higurama cells. So that
Mhm.
means she's primed to get the Tenzigon. So imagine the combination of the Tenzigon
Hmm.
with a Kyuubi Sage mode. Something that we just can't even imagine right now because we've never seen that kind of power. The Tenzigon is already so overpowered, and the Kyuubi Sage mode is so overpowered. So those two together could create a new kind of mode.
That's actually crazy.
Mm.
Now,
I
don't you
can
need
see
like a
that.
pure Byakugan or something like that for Tenseigan?
You need the pure lineage of the Hyuga clan, which is like the closest you can get to the uh original Otsutsuki gene, which Hinata did. And you also need the Higurama cells, which is the other part of the Otsutsuki genes, which would make you, for all intents and purposes, a pure blood Otsutsuki. So she does have the potential.
Oh yeah, for
Also,
sure. No,
though, her
Mhm.
Byakugan is an exception. If you remember when Boruto thought he awakened the Byakugan, Naruto comes in and says that you need intense training to awaken it. To be fair, that's like out of universe. It's because they just forgot to give them the Byakugan. But in universe, they technically retcon that to where that is the case. But Naruto says that you need intense training, but Himawari was an exception. So unless Boruto is an exception like Himawari, there is no way. But again, that's important because that does mean Himawari's Byakugan is special in some kind of way that we just don't really know why yet.
Now, I feel like her being a nine tail should like amplify that too. Like, I feel like she should get like an Ant Byakugan. I don't know if they would do that though, but it's like that's how I feel about it.
Interesting. All right.
Something that so I'm sorry. Something that could
No, go
also
ahead.
be argued is that that line where Damon is, I don't remember the exact line, but he's surprised by the amount of power inside of her. I don't think that was just about Kurama, because Tailed Beast chakra has been around. It's not something new, and arguably, the characters that are in play right now also have insane amount of chakra reserves. I think Damon sensed something deeper than just Kurama. What do you guys think?
I think
thing,
that
He was
could have
sensing her
been
potential.
Well, let's not
that
forget
could have
that
foreshadowing.
Because even
Kura-
right now, Himawari isn't as strong as Damon. So, yeah.
well, let's not forget that Kurama compared her to a tailed beast, like basically like a humanoid tailed beast. So
Yeah.
the potential, like she might not even be like completely human, kind of in a similar sense to like Boruto and Kawaki being Otsutsuki, but they still look human. It could be that she's not even completely human, and Damon felt that potential inside of her. I feel like Himawari is taking huge inspiration from Gohan from Dragon Ball.
Mhm.
And I think that's the direction that we're going right now. Like we're currently in that early stage of what is this potential inside of her? And I feel like we're going to get a moment where it's going to unleash. It might unleash in the form of a chakra mode, but I think it's relating to that.
Yeah, because like y'all do not underestimate like her Kurama, like the power that she gets from Kurama, because like Naruto has like all the tail B, six paths and all that, and it's still implied that Himawari with just nine tails is like basically stronger than him. So it's like, and we've never really seen like a humanoid like Biju thing in the series. The closest thing we have to it right now is like Jura, and he's like the strongest in the show.
Yeah. And,
Sure.
and another thing is Kurama going to keep growing and become like have like this adult form as well.
Hopefully.
What's going to happen to her then? You know? So, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Very interesting. By the way, as we're recording right now, I'm watching. There's auctions of production drawings. I'm gonna post it in the chat here. But there's production drawings from the anime that are getting auctioned off right now for hundreds of dollars.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So all right. In chapter 33, let's talk about Koji. So he reveals more about his abilities. He talks about how it cannot be used whenever he wants. And it seems like he's saying that like they're never really fully correct anyways. Like they're never fully accurate.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, but I still think that he's bullshitting.
Oh, yeah? So
I think he's lying. I think he's still keeping things from the characters, because something just still feels off.
he is Amato's creation. Like he's just as sneaky as Amato. But I will say we have seen him get updates live. Now, maybe he's not telling us when he's getting this latest update. Like for all we know, he probably got an update. And he's just saying, "Oh, I have not been updated since, however ago." Because we don't know when he gets his updates. That's the thing. We can't say, "Oh, he gets his updates every 24 hours, every 36 hours." It's just when he tells us he gets the updates. So for all we know, he might have gotten more updates than that we know of, that we don't know of. And he's just keeping it to himself.
He's definitely keeping it to himself. No, there's a lot because like he says this and that, but then like as he talks to someone later, he literally says, "Well, that's not gonna happen," or this and that. But it's like, but then he also says that his stuff's not even accurate. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, bro. And then I feel like with this chapter, it's so to me, the conversation between Inojin and Koji, it's like on and off with their relationship here. Inojin's like, I can't trust you. But I can. I don't know. It's weird. He also doesn't. Koji never displays like really any emotion.
He's so similar to Amato. He's so similar to Amato because like what he tells you, it feels truthful, like 99%, but like you could tell there's something hidden, that there's something he's hiding. And I feel like, I mean, obviously he has hid some stuff and we actually found out live, and the same goes for Amato. It's more so they're just not telling us. Like when Boruto stopped Konohamaru from dying, like was Konohamaru supposed to die then, stuff like that. But I do feel like to add to what Auntie was saying, I do feel like there is this like one common scenario for all these futures that he is not telling Boruto about. Like there is like one scenario that he's trying to build up to, and he knows he just can't tell Boruto about it.
Well, he says like he gets all these pre-science visions. He gets all this future scenes that he can see, and he says that once he like says what it is, once he says what it is, or like most people kind of know what the future is, then it kind of already just changes. And that's why and he said that it's kind of a mix between different visions, or like one thing from this, one thing from that, and that's what actually happens. And if he doesn't tell Boruto what's like that like the end, whatever is going to happen in the end to Boruto or something, is it for a good reason? Is it for the same reason that Kawaki wants to get rid of Boruto?
Here's the thing. We all know that Boruto will easily sacrifice himself. He's already done it. Okay? So what Koji's hiding from Boruto does not relate to like Boruto dying. I feel like we can single that part out. It's going to relate to Kawaki dying or someone else that he loves dying. And he knows if he tells Boruto's going to try preventing that. And that's already it's already confirmed because it's already happened in previous chapters. Yeah. But the question is, are we building up to like, because like he did prevent Himawari's death, right? And for all we know, maybe he's preventing her death so that a future death could prevent this or that. But I do feel like he's probably hiding Kawaki's death. And he knows
that's crazy.
That that's what I think he's hiding. Like I feel like it's something that we could guess, but it's also could be not true. But I do feel like that's what's happening. Boruto just doesn't know how to save Kawaki from whatever outcome that's being hidden from. But yeah, Auntie, what are your thoughts? Like, we kind of cut you off.
You're good. Honestly, I'm gonna tie my theory about Kaji and Koji with what we talked about previously, which is Inojin, because I feel like that's our biggest clue about the fact that he's hiding something. Because he pretends to be this benevolent, helpful, guiding hand, but we know that he's manipulative. He is okay with letting certain people die to prevent futures that we truly don't know if Koji's true intentions align with the rest of the characters. What we do know is that if you look a little bit harder at the entire interaction with Inojin, is that from the get-go, he's conditioning Inojin and getting his, what will essentially be his weapon, ready. He says how in another timeline he created the jutsu after the fact. It wasn't just Ada and Himawari that died, it was civilians. He is kind of manipulating Inojin into ultimately doing what Inojin ends up doing, which is macabre to say the least. And
Yeah.
like, it's just pure gaslighting. It's classic blame shifting, and he like eggs him on. Even at the very end, like at the end when everything's going wrong, he sees that light click in Inojin's eyes, and he says, "Okay, I just need to push a little bit further." So he gets to doing this. I just feel like all of this was premeditated. I don't think what he said about him not knowing what would happen in that moment was true. I think he knew exactly that.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Kazun Koji intended to happen, but it would have not happened had Kajin Koji not manipulated Inojin into doing that. And even in the part where he's egging Inojin on to kill oh my god, I forget his name.
Omushi?
No. The elder.
Kobu?
Oh yeah. Even when he's egging Inujin to kill Kobu and throw him off the roof, it feels like he's prepping him to do what's necessary, which he ends up doing. And we know that Kajin Koji is always planning things behind the scenes and moving pieces that we don't even know are on the chessboard. I think that this all happened according to Kajin Koji's plan. I think he's lying about his ability, and I think Amato is very interested in how he could benefit from that.
You know, what I find interesting is just like Amato, like literally just like Amato, Koji pulled us in with information. But like the interesting part is like from Amato's perspective, we were the Leaf Village, and Amato was was someone who walked into our domain, our comfort zone, and dangled information in our face, and we took the bait. And freaking Koji did the same thing. He did the same thing, but with Boruto. And like, if you think about it, like both Koji and Amato, the only reason why everyone's following along with them is because of their information. But like, why is Koji concerned with saving planet Earth? Like, I know that I guess the obvious answer is, well, he doesn't want to die. But like, he was part of Karma before. Like, he didn't show that. Like, he showed that he wanted to take down Ishiki, but like, goes beyond that. Like, was he always wanting to be a protector of the leaf? Like, to me, I'm just kind of curious. Like, where did this motivation come from?
It's because he's a clone of Jiraiya. He's like destined to be a protector for the leaf.
Yeah,
He does note that in some of his introductions.
No, I totally agree, and that's the big question. Because yes, Kajin Koji is a clone of Jiraiya. It's in his cells, but the big question that we have to ask ourselves every time Kajin Koji speaks is he actually a good guy? Is he actually the reincarnation of Jiraiya? or is he a secret villain?
See, so
He's gonna
I
be an
think
antagonist, but I wouldn't say he's a villain.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I think the coolest thing that could happen, and this is just for the sake of fun, is like Koji versus Amato, like playing chess on opposite sides. 'Cause I feel like Koji was created to eventually take down Amato. Ever since he reverse summoned himself away, and Amato thought he was dead. You know what? Now, on that point, what if part of Koji's goal is to take out Amato? Like, what if that's one of his goals, his secret goals, and we just don't know about it yet? Because Amato did leave him for dead, and Koji's not dumb.
Well, that's the thing is that we know that Amado, he used the off switch on Delta, and Koji saw that and wondered if he has the same thing. He hasn't forgotten that. He knows the next time he sees Amado's probably going to try and use that on him. So he can't directly confront Amado, and that means that he can't go to the village, which is something he may want to do. Who knows? But at the very least, he definitely wants Amado out of the picture because we know Amado's very nefarious, and Koji can probably see with this ability, assuming he's not lying. So I think it's completely fair to say that he wants to get Amado out of the picture so he can just keep doing what he needs to do.
I don't think they're gonna fight each other or anything.
Well,
No,
I mean,
think
Amado can fight.
I think it's going to be a battle of wits.
Yeah.
I think.
No, yeah, I know how Amato wants to like make a daughter, whatever, and she might be an Osusuki. I feel like because there's only like a chance she might become an Osusuki. I feel like Koji's gonna see like multiple futures. Maybe she becomes a human, or maybe she becomes an Osusuki. Maybe this might happen, and then he might try to like kill her before that happens, and then that's how they're gonna get into conflict. Because Amato only has one goal right now, which is to bring back his daughter.
Right. Well, I mean, maybe that's his goal. He's still a very mysterious character.
We're probably building up to that Frankenstein scenario. Like your creation literally turns on you and freaking kills you. It's just a matter of who. Whether it's Ekibi taking out Amato or Koji. I think it's more fun if Koji's the one that designed everything, like plotted out this entire plan just to take out Amato. And I know we're going to talk about Code later, but I do feel like maybe Code could be part of that. Like, who knows? What if Code takes Koji away from the equation, and it's just those two? And Code
he's probably gonna ambush.
Yeah, he's like, Code, I don't like Amato either. We're gonna take him out together, and then that's like a plot twist. But yeah. That's my point.
No, about Amato though, do y'all think he's Shibai or anything like that? I'm not gonna lie, I had a theory like that, but then in like the recent chapter, he was like, "Oh, I don't even know what." Like he didn't know what prescience was, so and he was talking to himself in his head when he said it.
I think yeah, go ahead, Auntie.
No, I think that it would be better for the story if he was just a really smart human with a secret agenda that would be dangerous. I think making him any type of Otsutsuki infuses Shibai cells, it would make him just not as unique as he is right now. Yeah, exactly.
I still feel like there's a plot twist coming up with Amato or like his story.
I agree. Like, I feel like I would prefer if Amato was just a human who outsmarted everybody. Like, think Tony Stark. If Tony Stark was one of the bad guys, like that's the way I think about it. And these days, like if you guys follow Marvel, everyone's crafting theories about Doctor Doom and Tony Stark and the relation and stuff like that. I feel like Amato's like in that gel, That's where I think he is.
Yeah, 100%. I see him right now we are seeing a constant battle of wits that has escalated to the point where even Shikamaru, who's notoriously brilliant, is at his wit's end. I think that a intellectual battle is probably the most interesting route they can take with Amato's character. But we can discuss that in an entire episode dedicated to Amato because there's a lot.
Oh
to
yeah,
talk
we
about.
definitely need that. It's just we need a little bit more juice on Amado, but they're not giving it to us.
Yeah,
I-
I'm telling you, I
100%.
feel like there's like a plot twist coming up with like his backstory because his daughter caught like an incurable disease, like nothing worked on it. I feel like there's something about that we have to like that Ikimoto's like leaving out.
It was Shibai cells. He put Shibai cells in her.
Oh, you think that's what did it? That would make
For
sense.
sure. Yeah.
You sure it's not the same disease Itachi caught?
Bruh.
I mean, Itachi's disease, whereas he did die from it, it was to some extent curable. Unlike
But like, why do you just
Kimimaro,
say that?
well, not curable,
What?
but at the very least, he found medicines that were able to help. But Kimimaro never found anything that found any sort of relief, and we know that has ties seemingly to a Otsutsuki background. I mean, that would make sense if it's going to be Akabe's going to be the same thing, Otsutsuki related.
Interesting.
That's crazy. That goes way back. Kimimaru. That's awesome. So also let's talk about Inojin from this chapter. So he takes over all the Mamushis at once. He ditches Koji. Koji reverse summons him back to the battlefield with the frog and takes over all of the Mamushis with his jutsu. And then we see the way to kill them is to get all their eyes, and he gets Damon to do it. He just controls them all. And it affects him. We literally see blood squirting out of his eyes when he's on the floor, which is crazy.
You're talking about
Um,
Inojin, right?
Yeah, with Inojin.
there's a lot to unpack there.
So
Do y'all think
I was
Himawari can
mention-
heal that?
Well, Himawari, he does tell Himawari in the chapter, take care of me after this.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking if he went to that extent, he could possibly go blind.
She should be able to rebuild his eyes, but
I mean,
know.
she
did it
wasn't
for
exactly.
She did it for Sarda. She just stopped the
No,
bleeding.
like she can't read. No, here's the thing with Sarada. She can't fix her blindness, but like she should be able to like rebuild the eyes. Like it's not like the eyes, like the vision got burned out. It's like two different things.
Exactly. It's because the Mangekyo sealing blindness thing as opposed to the physical damage aspect of it. I see no reason why she couldn't heal the physical aspect, but she can't heal the Mangekyo blindness. We see the same thing with Sasuke. He has Karin right by his side, but he's still going blind just as fast as ever.
Yeah,
Well,
I feel like
Well,
There's
if
a-
we look at something similar, like really similar, like Obito, like remember when his face got crushed, and like, Ren was only able to do so much, but just replace the eye. Like in Naruto, we've only seen people replace eyes. We never seen anyone like heal an whole eye. Naruto didn't even heal an eye; he created an eye. So
Yeah.
like,
and that,
Yeah, Himawari has
but-
way better healing than Naruto though.
yeah, but let's remember that Naruto only was able to do that because he was powered by the six paths in its entirety.
Well,
He
he
was-
used like a hat. He has like creation of all things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he can't use that anymore. Is what
yeah, so
I think
so Hima
that's the
can't do
case.
that. Yeah, so
Exactly.
That's, yeah.
Honestly, the whole Inojin with the hive mind and the eyes bleeding, there's a lot to talk about there. For one, I'll address the eyes first because the hive mind is a little bit longer in, so to speak. The eyes, we could go two routes. One, it could be that Inojin's eyes exploded in the same way that Mamushi's eyes exploded. That could be what they're hinting at. That his physical body had the recoil of so many deaths at the same time, and his eyes just burst. That's one path that they could be taking. But another path is that he suffered. He suffered thousands of deaths simultaneously. That is insanely taxing on the human brain. Like process, like Inojin was part of each of those people.
Oh.
So that could be just an overload of his brain absolutely going haywire from that. And it's kind of
No,
like,
because didn't he technically like die? Because remember when Kochi said like if you die during mind transfer, you die, and he basically did that with Mamushi, if I'm not mistaken. And even after Himawari healed him, he wasn't even like he never woke up or anything. Yeah, his eyes like were crushed, but like he should still be kind of like conscious or so he might actually be like, I don't know, he might be dead or something. Like it won't just be like he wakes up in the hospital and then it's like, yeah.
I didn't even consider the whole overloading his mind like situation. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if the story's gonna go that route. But it would be interesting. But I feel like that would like leave Inojin like out of
Be
commission
like
for a
infinite
while.
void.
Bro would be gone for a while, like in a coma.
Yeah.
For a while.
So personally, I don't think they're going to go that direction simply because of how they've explained it. We do know that the Yamanaka mind transfer, that does have a sense of reflection to it. We see that all the way back in Naruto Part 1 with the Forest of Death when Ino mind transfers into the girl, not Kari, not Kirin. Is it, what is it? What's her name? Keen. Yeah, we see that there. So that is why the eyes do reflect back onto Inojin. I don't think they're going to do the overwhelming in terms of his like brain or whatever, simply because of how they explain it, that Inojin isn't taking over each Mamushi individually. Rather, he's taking over the one hive mind that controls all Mamushis. That's to say, I don't even know if Inojin can control every Mamushi independent of one another. He might only be able to give them all a command and they can all do something or not. But based on that, I think something interesting that they could do. I do know that the Mamushi clones do technically die afterwards. It's possible that Inojin undoes the mind transfer before they die, but after the eye reflection. He does seem convicted, so I do think he would stay in the body for as long as possible. I do think rather than Inojin simply dying, a really interesting direction they can go with, considering what they did with Code at the end of the chapter, as well as the conflict between Boruto and Kwaki at the end of the chapter. What if Inojin, and maybe Boruto knows this through Koji telling him, what if Inojin is trapped inside of Mamushi's soul thorn? And that's why Boruto wants to release your boy Bug to get.
It didn't seem like that. Because it didn't seem he just wanted to free Bug, but that would be interesting.
Wait, let him cook, bro. Let him cook.
Here's the thing,
no, I'm just not chill. No, he is cooking, right? But it's like he said Boruto probably knows, but Boruto, like when I saw the chapter, it just seemed like Boruto knew that shit.
Because why would Boruto care to free Bug? I guess unless you want him to come back to get intel out of him, just hand him over to the Leaf. But I don't know if Boruto would care about that. It's definitely possible. But we do know that the soul thorns rot over time. That's what Jura says about Hitari at the very least. That's what Kawaki would probably want. And I'm assuming that's going to be the conflict, is to get the soul thorn to Bug's tree in time before it rots, potentially to save Inojin's life.
I like the different angle that you put out, because that's the thing I didn't consider. And honestly, I feel I can see it happening, but at the same time, I feel like I can also see them rushing to get this thorn bulb to not rot without that conflict happening. But Inojin being trapped inside the thorn soul, I like the direction. I can't lie. I like the direction.
I thought it was a really good theory too. Really cool. I like that. Yeah.
Agreed.
You guys have some nice points about that. Enojin, I think the editors love using Enojin in the plot. They always give him some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next? So yeah, Boruto talks about letting the thorn bulb rot. What else do you guys think that means other than this scenario with Enojin and helping him through Mamushi?
Well, it could just
Why
be
would
that
they want
Boruto.
to? Why would they want
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
bring Mamushi or Bug back at
Well,
all?
Boruto
Well,
isn't a
because Jura can
heartless
come back
person.
in game. Yeah, like
Um,
that too.
Boruto's not
what do you
super.
say? One at a time. One at a time.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just saying that like Boruto's not gonna just leave Bug to die. Like if you think about Code, didn't even leave Bug to die. So like Boruto's not gonna leave Bug to freaking die.
What does Boruto have any relation with Bug?
It's just, but
Listen.
you can say the same with Kobu, unless you think it was like purely political that he saved Kobu. But like,
Listen,
I feel
think
like
he
Jura
did.
might just pull up and kill them. I feel like Jura might just pull up and like
Bruh.
take that shit.
With the
honestly.
wild card. No, well, obviously, it's going to be Code, which will be our last topic here that we have. Obviously, it'll be Code because he's waiting there. Well, let's hop onto that.
Wait,
So,
Wait, what about
before
Code?
before we move on
okay.
to that,
Yeah.
I just want to say something about the bulb. Something that's interesting to me. The way that Boruto says that it would be a shame to let the bulb rot away. The way that he looks down at Kawaki, something about that just doesn't scream to me that he's planning on getting a Bug back. I think he's planning something different with the bulb. I don't know what it is, but I think that now that that Bug has been neutralized, Mamushi has been neutralized, why would Boruto purposefully bring in someone who he knows is an opponent? I think he has other plans for the bulb. And to be more philosophical, so to speak, bulbs grow from their roots up. So if something rots from the root, it can't be saved once it becomes a bulb. The corruption is already set. Some just can't be saved once the corruption reaches the root. So he could be sensing this danger that's already planted. And it's very connected to Kawaki's ideology, Amato schemes, and the Shinju evolution. It could even be an allegory for the shinobi system itself becoming obsolete. I just think that there's something a little bit more rough and gritty that Boruto has planned with the bulb. That
Does he know
doesn't
that
involve
Code?
bringing back.
Does he know that he can use it to get Code to pop out? Why would he want to see Code?
Do you think he's trying to lead Jorah to a different dimension so that they could go all out without worrying about destroying the Leaf Village?
I don't think that's a problem because seemingly Boruto knows that he could fight Mamushi inside the village, knowing that Jura will essentially allow that to happen. He's not going to destroy the village. He's not going to fight Boruto inside the village. Himawari's safe inside the village for that very reason. And so I think that's something Boruto's considered.
Well, why hasn't there been any more of the beasts or the clones? You know, why hasn't any of the tree beasts turned any more people in the trees? You know, why haven't we got more on the Senjus? You know,
like a zombie kind of situation.
Why? Yeah. Why hasn't there been more added to the team? You know,
I believe that the Senju are finding themselves. They're new beings that are understanding what it is to be a being, what it is to feel. And I feel like part of it, and I don't discard the possibility that eventually they will start to mass transform people into Senju. But I think for the moment, they're kind of focusing within. And I think it would be really cool that they search within and they realize we feel lonely. And that's where the instinct to make more of them comes in. That might be a cool direction to take it.
I've always seen it as
Yeah,
like
I'm
a
not gonna
virus
lie.
on the planet.
I feel like
The
that's
planet got
something that they
infected.
should do in the future, like a mass, like everybody becomes
like-
Shinju, basically.
That's like AI taking over the world. Wow.
Swarms of Shinju
Honestly, for
everywhere.
that, they need a claw grime to fight one of the people, or potentially a Shinju could do it, but that Shinju might turn into a tree themselves.
Well-
It might be just a devouring the target thing. I don't know.
Well, what we have to keep in mind is that the Shinju are trees, right? So if they have too many, they might as well form a big chakra fruit, like a big chakra tree, like just one huge one. Because like after a while, let's just say they take out all the villages, okay, that's no different from creating a huge chakra fruit to sap, the life out of the planet. And like from a writing perspective, I think because this is what Kishimoto likes to do, and I think Ikimoto is going to follow the same path. Kishimoto likes the villains to win. Like we saw Obito become the Tento Jinchuriki. They was trying to prevent that. We saw the Infinite Tsukiyomi launch, and then we saw Kaguya revive. A lot of these things came to pass that the main characters was trying to prevent. Okay, and I feel like we are going to see someone eat a chakra fruit live in Boruto, like a legit one. And if there's too many Shinju running around, it's going to create a weird situation where they're sapping a lot of energy from Earth just from existing. But yeah, that's just my take on the situation. It's probably going to be too taxing on the planet.
I mean, earlier on in the anime, Victor and Deepa, specifically Victor, was like growing his own divine trees and trying to get the fruit. And if anything, that could just be some more foreshadowing as well. So I mean, that would be pretty cool to see a fruit come into the story. It'd be crazy.
Now, who do y'all think
Um,
is gonna get the chakra fruit? Like Code or like Jura, or both maybe?
I mean,
I swear, if it's Code, I'm turning off
You don't
my
want
computer.
Code. You
It's
don't
gonna
want
be-
Code to
no,
get the
it's
chakra
gonna-
fruit.
I'd like for
No,
no.
I want
Lucky,
Code to
bro.
get it. I want Code to
I
get it.
think
Nah,
I think it
gonna be
could
Because
Becky.
remember what Code told Ada. Remember what he told Ada, bro? He foreshadowed it. He said, "When I become an Osuki and your ability to, I'm spinning back. I'm spinning back."
I want Code to become really powerful and a huge threat, but I don't want him to be the final villain. I don't think he just doesn't scream like
See,
final
he can
intent
achieve his
villain.
he can achieve his goal and not be the final villain. Like
I see him
Obito
being
achieved his goal.
I see him being the Obito of the story. I think that's the role that's the same role he's fulfilling, the Obito in the story. And Obito was the final villain. So,
Yeah.
That's the way I
Now,
see it.
going back, like going a few steps back, because I just thought of this, and it contradicts what my theory just was, but I think I like this one better. I was wrong. Maybe Boruto is planning on bringing back Bug. At the end of the day, Boruto is Naruto's son. Uzumaki inherently want to do what's right, no matter what the cost is. And it takes me back to when Momoshiki told him that his blue eyes would take everything from him. Sure, a lot of us think that he was referring to the Jodan. What if he was referring to the metaphorical sense that Uzumaki, the blue eyes, What if his compassion is his downfall? He says, I want to release Bug. Bug, sure, he's a horrible person, but at the end of the day, he didn't choose to be turned into this. So he goes to release Bug, is confronted with Code. And there's another case of Boruto's compassion doing more harm than good, which has been the theme so far. What do you guys think?
I completely agree with that. In fact, we have a direct example of this, one of the most forgotten episodes of Boruto probably of all time. If you guys remember in the tuning exams, technically the second one we see in Boruto, the re-exams, this is after the Ishiki fight, we have the stage 2 of the tuning exams, the Forest of Death, and the goal is to rescue the hostages in the forest. One of Boruto's quote-unquote villains of that episode anyways, he was trying to get one up on Boruto, and then he managed to get hurt in the process. Boruto had to choose between saving the hostage and completing the exam, or saving this guy who just tried to basically screw him over. And Boruto chooses to save that guy rather than the hostage. He ultimately chooses both. But the idea is that Boruto knows if he tries and rescues that person, he's going to run out of time. He's going to fail the exam. Boruto's willing to do that because basically he feels bad about what happened the first time, the first tuning exams, and he wants to show people that he's changed. But regardless of that, that empathy is still there. Boruto is still willing to save someone that was antagonistic towards him, even if it came at the cost of basically himself succeeding.
Kind of like Naruto and Kawaki.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of Next Generations, right? Boruto says he's on this path because he is an Uzumaki, right? So that's like the path of the Uzumaki. And I think that's just a really good lesson straight from Kishimoto about what it is to be an Uzumaki.
That's true.
And also, I wanted to mention, I didn't get to mention earlier, by the way, we have Ood here. And Ood is one of our new partners and VIP club members from the Boruto Club. He actually has his own Naruto Boruto podcast on YouTube, the Walkie Talkie Podcast. You can check it out on boruto.club. Click the partners button.
I know
and
that
you can find
podcast. Hold on, I recognize
we got
you.
Ood here.
I recognize you. What? From Kamui streams?
That's right.
I knew you sounded familiar because I've been a part of his streams. Ah, okay.
Yeah, so he's our new partner.
Okay.
He's part of our Boruto Club. So if you guys want to check out any of our other partners, just go to boruto.club and to check that out, and everything else that we have there, our Discord, everything. All right, is there any final thoughts you guys have for this chapter? Chapter
I did
33.
want to add on a little bit to that final topic that we had. It's beyond just Boruto's empathy. I think to an extent it also has to do with his relationship to Sasuke, because Sasuke in particular was turned into a tree. I can imagine Boruto has extra empathy. I think that Boruto wants to save anyone turned into a tree because he doesn't want that horror to bestow any human because of what it's done to his loved ones. So I can feel that that's almost extending to even people that Boruto doesn't like, and especially to people like Sarada. Like he wanted to save Sasuke in particular because of what Sarada did for him, giving him Sasuke to an extent. I could definitely see him going out of his way to save anyone. In fact, I think this is part of why he doesn't like the trees. When he tells Jura that he wants to kill all of the trees, it could be like an extension of this idea as well. In a way, it's almost similar to Sasuke and Shippuden, to where because of his love for his brother, that turned into hatred for the village.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that's one of the key themes, and it's nice to see Naruto's legacy live on in Boruto, no matter how dark it gets. At the end of the day, Boruto is Naruto's son, no matter how much Kawaki pretends to be. And this separation is something that has been planted from the get-go. It's this comparison of Boruto never wanted to be like his father, and Kawaki wanted nothing but to be like Naruto. But at the end of the day, Boruto is so much like his father, and Kawaki just can't get there because he doesn't have that innate sense of compassion.
Yeah,
I think
I
what you're
think that's
describing actually works perfectly with one of the sole core identifying factors of Two Blue Vortex coming out of Omnipotence. Boruto's trying to reforge new memories with everyone, and part of that could be he's trying to be like extra Boruto. He wants to save the people in the trees, unlike Kawaki. Not to show everyone that he's Boruto, unlike Kawaki, but to get people back on his side in a way, counter Omnipotence.
I feel that's an interesting point. That he could be doing that, but I think, but from what we've seen thus far of his evolution, of his character arc, I feel like Boruto has accepted that that version of him is gone. And I think he's, in that sense, become a lot like Sasuke, and the way that he's sure, yes, he's 100% trying. He wants those connections with his old friends and family to be restored, but he's accepted that he's never gonna be seen the same way. I think that him purposefully doing things to make others see, oh, I'm who I say I am, just kind of makes the entire character progression arc a little bit moot point. Because at the end of the day, he's had to sacrifice a lot, and he has had to grow up a lot in such a short time that this would feel kind of limited. I think it would be nice to see him embrace his new role and be loved for it despite it.
I
can see that.
I think you're both correct. I think you're both correct because I think Boruto is his essence, regardless of how he feels, is changing people. Like it's not really him trying to change. It's just happening in his presence. The only reason why people have their issue with Boruto is because of omnipotence. Because like if you look at Kawaki's side, just who he is as a person, and like he can't necessarily help this because of his upbringing, but who he is as a person is negatively affecting the people around him, like Ada and Mitsuki. And like just because he's Naruto's son is just that is literally that essence alone is enough to like magnetate people toward him. That's what I'm seeing. Because like Naruto and Sasuke story, Naruto had nothing, gained everything. Okay. So that's Kaoki artificially gained everything. And Boruto was framed and lost everything because he was framed for it. So Sasuke became like an actual like rogue ninja, like a real rogue ninja. Boruto was framed into becoming a rogue ninja. Naruto genuinely grabbed everybody. Kawaki artificially grabbed everybody through omnipotence. And like we're seeing things break down with Kawaki while Boruto's kind of forming these connections, but it's through their essence. And I think that's what the story is telling us. But
Yeah,
that's what
100%. I agree. I think that they're trying to tell a sort of continuation, a sort of parallel to Naruto and Sasuke, but making it very clear that this is their story. This is a new story with different outcomes, different mentalities, and different circumstances. It's kind of like a what if. and it's cool to see this kind of shift in dynamic, especially considering that they're characters that we all know and love, and a lot of us grew up watching Naruto. So it's cool to see that this isn't just these are the kids. It's an actual deep philosophical conundrum that they're presenting. So interesting.
All right, are we ready to wrap up the recording here?
Yeah, I think we've said all we.
Okay, we
That's
just hit an hour, by the way.
This was a good episode.
This
was a
good episode.
Yeah, so for anyone that's a fan of Total Breakdown, we try to do these once a month, usually after the chapter release. Just join us in the Discord, twobluevortex.com/Discord, or you can find it on boruto.club. This is Antiphone and Drifting's show, Total Breakdown. This is my first time being part of it, so yeah, it was a lot of fun, and thank you guys for having me here.
Of course, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any topics or theories that you guys would like to see discussed on the show, feel free.
Yeah.